Welcome to the Prepping Report. In this edition of the Prepping Report, we're going to discuss the most important prep that you can have, which is practice. Practice makes perfect. Your survival group is only as strong as the weakest link. I can go on and on with various motivational things or dealing with practice, but that's the heart of it. When something bad happens, you're going to have to become a master of a lot of different things, whether it be security, firearms, medical training, communications. You're going to be thrown into something here, and if you don't practice it beforehand, it's not going to go in your favor. Like I put in my tagline, chance favors a prepared mind, and I firmly believe that. I believe if you're prepared, you practice, and you're prepared, chance will be in your favor. Does that mean it's always going to turn out 100%? No, but you're going to be much better off than 99% of everybody around you. If you practice everything that you're preparing for, you're going to be 99% better than the rest of the world when it comes to something bad happening. So what do I mean by practice? First, look at practicing with no power. If you're planning on staying at your current residence as your bug out location, just one weekend you decide to go in there and shut the main breaker off and see how your family survives with no electricity. Shut off the gas, shut off the water. If you're on city water, shut off the water to the house. Totally shut off everything. Take your cell phones and go put them in a vehicle, lock them up where you have no communication, and just see how you survive a weekend. Don't just do that once. Do it in the winter. Do it when it's, the high is going to be 15 degrees. Shut everything off. See how you survive. Then turn around in the springtime when it's going to be a nice 55-degree day. Shut everything off. Then in the summertime when the highs is going to be 95 degrees or maybe 110, shut everything off again. I guarantee you every time you do that, you're going to learn something new about your preparedness and how you want to change things around. Next goes with bugging out. There's a lot of people out there that plan on making their bug out by foot or by vehicle. Know your routes. Make that bug out trip multiple times. Especially if you're going by foot, take your bug out bag, put it on your back, and make your journey to your bug out location. I guarantee you by the end you'll probably take some stuff out of your bug out bag and leave it at home or store it at your bug out location. Just always practice. You'll come to realize that you're probably not in good enough shape to do that, or you don't have the tools to be able to make a good bug out run if you strap on your bug out bag and go to that location. Along with that, and physical fitness and learning stuff, is getting water. I know a lot of people that, especially we live in a region with a nice lake within driving distance. 5 minutes from my residence, I can pretty much be at a lake. Well, that may seem great, but have you tried to carry 2 5-gallon jugs from your water source to your house? If it's not in your backyard and it's more than a quarter mile away, you're going to wear yourself out. And you're going to realize that, number one, I've got to have a better rainwater source, maybe rain catchment system or some other source. Or number two, I'm going to have to get in the gym and get in better shape. Going on with the beans, bullets, and Band-Aids, look at beans. If you store heirloom seeds and your whole goal is that I'm going to build a huge garden, a 1-acre garden when the shit hits the fan, and I'm going to be able to live off the vegetables I grow, you need to every year practice gardening. Now, just not use your tiller, have your till garden, practice container gardening, practice raised beds. Every aspect of gardening you need to train on and keep on practicing with, so you can refine your techniques and become a better gardener. The same goes with raising chickens, raising rabbits. The time when everything collapses is not the time to go out, try to find a couple of chickens and be able to raise them. You need to be able to do that before something bad happens. Also, cooking with storage food. You know, the directions, all the directions says boil water and wait so long, or whatever storage food that you have. Break out some of your number 10 cans and try to make some meals out of it. Have a menu kind of in your head of what you're going to do with your storage food. You'll probably find out through cooking through your storage food that you may want to add some more spices to your storage, or maybe some more items depending on what type of meal you're trying to cook. With your beans, we cover beans with bullets. Shooting. I'm a police officer. I've been a police officer for 7 years. You know, a lot of times I see a lot of officers that only get out to the range once a year, every year for qualification, and every year they do worse and worse and worse. Shooting is a skill. It is a skill that you have to practice. You need to take time, and I know it's, with all the panic buying going on with the new assault weapons bill, it's kind of hard to get the ammunition up, but you need to practice shooting. You need to practice on a weekly or a monthly basis with all your firearms. You know, your handguns, your rifles, your shotguns, your defensive rifles. You need to really get out there and practice shooting while moving. If you haven't taken a training class, you need to go and get some training in. Also, with practicing is cleaning and repairing your weapon. You know, if everything collapses and your firearm breaks and you don't have a gunsmith to go to, you know, doing some home surgery or some field repair on your own weapon that's not the time to learn it. You need to learn it before something bad happens. And finally, with Band-Aids, you know, practice just general medical skills. I know this is going to be the hardest to sort of practice at. I've done some videos, and I'm going to keep on doing some more on essentials of medical preparedness. But practice taking blood pressures. You know, 1 day a week. It's always good to know what your blood pressure is anyway. Sit everybody down. You take everybody's blood pressure, write it down. You know, hand the blood pressure cuff over to your wife. Have your wife or your husband take all the blood pressures. You know, teach your kids these skills. You know, wrapping up legs in case somebody has a broken leg, or putting on a tourniquet. Practice that. Finally, this is kind of weird, and I almost did not want to put it in my notes for this video, is practice diagnosing different conditions. And I'm not saying do not go to your doctor, and do not take me for medical advice. I'm a police officer. I'm not a doctor, an EMT, or a nurse. But you know, if somebody's sick in your family, you know, look over them, know what their blood pressure is, what their temperature is, ask them what their symptoms are. You know, if you started reading up on different medical books, you know, get in your head what you think it is, and when you take that loved one to the doctor, see what the doctor says. And if it's not what you sort of had, what your mind, you know, ask the doctor. You know, when Isabella or Bethany or whoever it is, Tommy or Jim, you know, has these symptoms, why does he have these symptoms? Ask your doctor questions. You're paying your doctor a good amount of money for them to see you for about 10 minutes. It wouldn't kill that doctor to spend another 5 minutes and tell you why he come up with what he did. Don't question his expertise, but just, you know, ask general questions of, well, his blood pressure was fine, or if this, and this, what does this mean? What would you do in this situation? You know, there's a lot of things that you can practice medical wise, but do not diagnose and treat your own conditions. We have medical facilities, we have ambulances, we have emergency rooms, we have urgent care, we have doctors for a reason. Go to them, and do not take me for medical advice. That's just a disclaimer. Everybody has that disclaimer. But do your own research and keep on practicing medical needs, because when the shit hits the fan or something bad happens, that is not the time to decide that you want to become an expert. So remember, what's the most important prepping thing that you can do is practice. Practice makes perfect. When you become perfect, you're prepared, and being prepared is great. Chance favors the prepared mind. Thank you for watching my videos. Please be sure to share and subscribe. Also join me on Facebook for daily discussions of preparedness news and preparedness topics. Thank you.